greetings, and welcome again to yet another Girl Who Don't You Know. Yes, it's Marilyn Green. I am the hostess with the mostest. And today, tonight, this morning, whenever you decide to look, I got two dynamic ladies that are on it. Our subject matter today is going to be the journey. Well, let me read it. The journey from clutter to clarity. Oh my God, clutter to clarity. I had to say that again. One more time for the people in the balcony. Clutter to clarity and the journey. So I got two amazing women on here. The first one is Rosemary Jackson Moore. Rosemary, as they said, come on out. The crowd loves you and start telling us a little bit about you. Go ahead.
Well, great evening, everyone, and thank you so much, Marilyn, for the invite. It's so great to be here. I am, as said, Rosemary Jackson Moore. I am the author of Taking Out the Mask, Telling Our Story, and Giving God the Glory, as well as the CEO, that is the Chief Encouragement and Empowerment Officer of Taking Out the Mask, LLC.
I really like that CEO, whatever you said, that right there, whatever she said. Okay, the next person I got, come on, that I always want to say, come on out, the crowd loves you, is Selena Long Reese. Come on, Selena, tell us about you.
Alrighty, well, my name is Sulena Long Reese, and I am the executive concierge of So Unique Concierge LLC. We are a company that provides professional organizing, move management, as well as concierge service for seniors, baby boomers, older adults, and their loved ones. So I say I am the chief evolution officer of So Unique Concierge.
Oh my God. Then I told you I had some dynamic women. I meant that. All right. I always said my guests are special, but all my guests are special. Okay, so let's just jump right into it. So when you talk about clutter, right? Let me go first to you, Selena. What made you want to even deal with the clutter to clarity? What made you want to help people to clean up, and to get some clarity, or be clearer, or to be, I'm not going to say cleaner, that's not it. To just the connection between clutter and clarity. What made you think about doing that with your concierge
So
position?
I will tell you what motivated this. So what happened is maybe back in about 2015, my mom had lived. So we're originally from the beautiful island of Trinidad and Tobago, right? And my mom, we moved here, and then after living here for about 20 years, my mom decided that, look, I had enough of the U.S. I want to go back to my country. So I said, okay, fine, mom, if that's what your heart desire, then all I'm going to do is be a cheerleader. So the process started. And we know my mom was 66 at that point in time. She had tons and tons and tons of stuff. So going through that process with her, I just realized that, wow, there's other people who's in this same situation as my mom that I can help. I've always been a very organized person. People
Mm-hmm.
they would laugh at me because they said I looked like I walked off of an ironing board when I came to school, right? So everything had to be tucked in and neat. Everything had a particular area in my bag. Everything was organized. So that's what
Okay.
motivated me.
All right then. I understand that. If your mom say I'm done with the US, I love that. I want to go back. Okay. So did she say anything about feeling better when she moved moved back
Yeah,
home? What
definitely.
what did she
Definitely.
say? Did she say anything about how clear her mind was, her thinking, or what? Or was she mad, or
Yes.
what was going on?
So one of the things that we realized is while she was here in the US, because she was accumulating so much stuff, she actually had periods where she went through periods of depression or low periods, right?
Hmm.
And we realized that. So when she moved back home and I went back and set up the entire home, put in the grab bags and organize the entire home, she was a much still had those periods, but she was a much lighter, joyful person.
Wow. Wow. Okay, thanks Selena for that. Rosemary, I know that you are a professional of helping women take off the mask. What does clutter mean spiritually in your mind? That clutter. What does it do to you?
Well, I'm glad you asked that question because it's really causing me to stop and think about the spiritual aspect a little more. And when we think about spirits, oftentimes we just think of evil spirits. That's the first thing that comes to my mind. But as you were
Mm-hmm.
asking that question, it came to my mind that there are a lot of spirits behind clutter. Spirits of confusion, disorganization, um, mismanagement, a lot of different things. And oftentimes, because we have on these masks, we don't understand, we don't see because we're wearing the mask trying to hide certain things about ourselves, but actually the masks are actually hiding some things from us. So that's why it's important to, when we're going to get free, when we're going to go on this journey, such as this one, going from clutter to clarity, we've got to take out the mask and we've got to look at the root cause, spirits of poverty and things like that. And I know we'll talk about that later on, but that's what
Uh-huh.
comes.
Let's talk about it right now. What about spiritual poverty? When they take the mask out, when they got the mask on, they got spiritual poverty, right? But when they take it off, and you help people to take it off, right? Okay,
Right.
take that mask off, then they stop having the spiritual poverty. I love that term. So unpack that a little bit for me about
Okay. Well, the
spiritual
first
poverty.
step. Okay. Thank you. The first
Mm-hmm.
step in getting free is always going to be being honest with yourself. That means you got to take off the mask, be brutally honest with yourself, and just look
Oh,
at what's out of order in your life. Because a lot of
okay.
clutter causes chaos, right? And
Yes.
so when you got all this stuff going on in your life, but you're masking your pain, your disorganization, such as I know someone, when you go to their home, if they're depressed and they haven't cleaned or whatever, when they see you coming, they jump up and grab the broom. I've done it too. Let me take off my mask,
All
because
right. Let's take it
you
off.
want to
Take
put
your
the
mask
person
off.
right. So when you have those masks on and you're hiding what's going on inside, you you really feel like you have a handle on those things. So once you take off your mask and you're honest about some things, then you can start identifying where the clutter is coming from, the problems it's causing, and then addressing it. Then that's how you go through that journey or process, and that's how
Mm-hmm.
you begin removing those masks, and that's how you get free.
Wow.
So it's
I
a
like that.
process and a journey, but yeah.
It is a process. I find myself, I do not like housework. Okay, so just know that if you need somebody to help you when you get sick or what, you really don't need to call me. Well, let me just say this: you can call me, but I don't do dishes. I don't do windows either. I don't do none of that. So what I'm saying is stuff, if you're not brutally honest with yourself, right, then you can never be totally free. Now,
Right.
let's jump into
Exactly.
something that I want to touch with Selena and tell me this. What about them hoarders? Okay, do you deal with hoarders at all?
So
I mean,
first, Mhm. So first of all, let me clarify. We don't say hoarders because it's just like we say someone has hoarding tendencies, right? So they're
that's what
not
they say,
hoarders
but I
because
asked for a hoarder.
that is labeling the individual. So when you say they
Uh,
have hoarding tendencies, you're detaching the habit from the individual, right? Or you're
okay,
detaching the issue from the individual, right? So
right?
we say that they have hoarding tendencies. But if you were to ever, so yes, I've dealt with a number of hoarders in my time of being a professional organizer. And I
Mm-hmm.
can say one of the things that is always a common thread, it is some type of trauma that happened in their life, whether it
Okay.
was they lost a job, right? And as a result, they went through a period of time that they could not purchase things or enjoy even the simplest things in life. Or it might have been that they grew up in an extremely poor household. So now that they're
Mm-hmm.
in a position financially to purchase things, they are purchasing it. But because they're not really addressing the core, right, the root cause of it, the purchase is only a temporary solution. So they go on a high, they purchase it, and a lot of times they don't even open the boxes, they don't even
Wow.
use the items. I have been in situations where there's iPhones, new iPhones that the box hasn't even been opened,
Oh
laptops,
my.
top of the line laptops, the box hasn't been opened because it's just a high, and then that's it. Then they have to appease it.
Wow.
It's kind of like a drug, right? So they appease it, and it's temporary, and then so until they address whatever that root cause of the trauma. So so
Mm-hmm.
so early in my journey, what I so I would definitely go ahead and move forward with helping someone with hoarding tendencies. But later on, I
Okay.
realized that it was really counterproductive. So I started saying, unless you are in therapy, unless you're working with a psychotherapist or psychologist, I can't, because we have to work in collaboration. I have to know that you're doing the work to get to the root of that, because all I'm doing is addressing the flowers and the leaves and the branches.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense, and because until you ladies have said that you same word a root, until you get to the root cause, okay, and the root cause causes you wanting to get to the root cause will make you say, I got a somewhat of a challenge. I'm not going to say issue. I
Yeah.
got a challenge with actually having things. And
Yes.
you kind of addressed it when you talk about I was super poor, then I'm just going to keep on accumulating things. Or you said also I lost. It's a big thing about losing. I believe with people with hoarding tendencies that now that they got something, they don't want to let it go. It's almost like a similar to separation anxiety, would you say?
Mhm.
As far as they don't want to be separated from this anymore. But it goes back to me, everything is spiritual than natural, always.
Yes.
Okay. It goes back to what Rosemary was saying about you have to address the spiritual part of this first. Don't get me wrong, I believe in behavior therapists and all that. But in conjunction,
Yes.
you must have a spiritual inventory,
Yeah,
okay, in
absolutely.
order to make sure, right? What do you think about that, Rosemary? That spiritual inventory, right? How do you
Yeah.
feel about that one?
If I actually have a self-exam questionnaire that's a part of my book, and I always
Oh,
do that in my workshops when I'm working with someone coaching. I just want to back up a little bit and address what you just talked
uh-huh.
about spiritually, how that relates to not wanting to let go of something.
Mm-hmm.
When you have been born and raised in poverty, like I was, there
Uh-huh.
was always that spirit of fear there, even though I didn't know what it was, especially before I became a believer and even after I didn't. But when you have that spirit of fear, there's always the fear that I've got to hold on to this because I may not get another one.
Yeah.
I just like when I gained weight, well, when I lost weight, I still kept my larger clothes because what if I gain that weight back? I won't have the money to buy bigger clothes. When I when I got bigger, I still have some 14 misses I can't wear that I've had for years because I'm going to lose this weight. And at one time, I was holding on to them because I was thinking when I lose this weight, I may not be able to buy nice wool suits and all that like those. Now that I'm at a different place through the work that I've
Mm-hmm.
done, not only have I gotten rid of the fear of poverty and that poverty mentality, now I've come
Mm-hmm.
out of that and even gotten debt free. So now I'm giving away stuff now. I have regular times when I have charitable organizations, Red Cross, and different ones to pick up stuff. And now I can give it away because I know that just like I got that, I can get some more.
So you put the work in too. Let's go for you.
Yeah,
You just. I mean, you can't wake up one day and God will say, "Boom, you got this together." Right? We know God, but you
yeah,
put in the work. What did you do? Because if you put the work in, that means that you can help others put their work in. What did you do to put your work in? Stop being afraid. Start getting the scripture. God did not give us a spirit of fear, of love, power, and a sound mind. We know.
exactly.
Okay, so
Right.
what did you do?
I began to invest in myself, Merlin, by investing
Okay,
in those who could help me. One of the best things God did for me and connected me with Selena is the fact that she helps with decluttering. So she and I were
okay,
on Clubhouse doing a room together. I think that's how you met us. And so
yes.
even though I was co-partnering with her, right, facilitating the room,
Hmm.
I was learning a lot and I was doing the work myself. So when we had
Okay.
co-working sessions and all of that, where she was showing us how to declutter and how to deal with the emotional stuff so we could let go of some stuff and how to, if you're attached to something, or feel like, somebody in the family might want it, well, call them, take a picture, FaceTime, look, see all of this, what do you all want? Because I'm getting ready to get rid of it. So there's so much
Right.
to it. But again, I've invested in therapy to deal with things. I've invested in coaching. I'm a coach, but I have coaches, right? So I
Okay.
invest in those who are, I invest in myself. I always look at it that way. And that's what I ask other people to do. Invest in yourself by investing in somebody that can help you. Because if you say invest
That's
in a
right.
housekeeper, that's like pay a housekeeper some money. But no, you invest in yourself because she's going to help you do what you don't want to do. Like, I want you to tell me after we get out of this session, I want you to tell me if you have a housekeeper because that's what I'm looking for because I don't like housework. But I'm going to invest in myself by investing in someone who loves to clean houses. And I
But
am good
I
on the
love
table
that.
with
No,
that.
no, I don't have a housekeeper. The work that I'm doing and stuff is learning how to look past it. That's what I mean, it was a time in my life that I was working so hard raising my sons. I just put it in my head. I said, well, I tell you what, because our job was for me to work and for them to go to school and get good grades. Okay.
Right.
All that passed. We did all that. We're very successful, beautiful outcome. But at the time, I said, if those dishes want to get washed, they better wash themselves. Okay. I'm just done. I can't do it. I just wash yourself, okay? Because I can't do it. I do not like washing dishes. But no, there's something that I worked on myself to not be so mean to myself, okay?
Mm.
And don't be
Great.
so hard on myself. I had
Yeah.
to use grace and I had to use some mercy,
Yeah.
okay? So that I wouldn't be so hard on myself because that alone can spiral you into serious depression.
True.
What's your thoughts on that, Selena? What's your thoughts on that? Man, that stuff can take you somewhere that you don't do nothing. It just
Yes.
paralyzes you,
Yes. Yes.
right?
Yes. Well, you know, that based on what you just shared. So, one of the things that Rosemary and I explored, right, extensively when we did our workshop on Clubhouse was clutter is just the manifestation of something much deeper. So
Oh my,
thoughts can be clutter, right?
oh my
The things
God.
that you say to yourself. So clutter is just really the flowers and the branches and the leaves, right? It's something deeper, and we can look at clutter in so many different aspects of our lives, right? So we can have relational clutter, we can have spiritual
Yeah,
clutter, we
yeah.
can have
Okay,
financial
sorry.
clutter.
I'm getting excited.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes. So it's just a manifestation. So the way that you think and talk about yourself, right? That is a form
Yes.
of clutter. One thing I would always say to my son as he was growing up, I said, babe, where is the richest place in the world? And he went on and he was like, Dubai, this, that, the other. And I said, no, baby. The richest place is between those two ears. Mine, MINE, just like a gold mine, your MIND.
That's right. I love
Yeah.
that. That is healthy right there. That's healthy. I mean, super healthy. All this is good food, okay, for your body and for your spirit, But I'm just saying, mind to mind. And
Yeah.
you're right. That's
Mine,
the richest.
MINE, your MIND.
Yep, and I really super love the part about the clutter. Don't just think about its stuff, okay? It's relationships, okay? It might be even your co-workers at work. It may be, guess what? It may be the traffic that you're in. The
Yeah.
relationships is cluttering me up so much that I just really don't have clarity. But when I do decide to clean up, okay, hello. Okay, you know how they say, I might not clean up, but I ain't nasty. So there is a difference, right? But when I do decide, I always keep going and looking back, and I get
Mm.
this refreshing feeling. It's almost like when you pour Fabulosa in your toilet. Okay, that smell, that aroma. It
Yes,
just feels so good when
exactly.
I do decide to move and say this has to go
Yep.
you know
Yeah.
and that right there alone will carry me so far. And then after that, I got to get on another project, in order to keep it going. I think in order to get myself totally healed about my relationship with clutter, so yeah. So what
Good.
you think about that, Rosemary, Selena? I mean, hey, clutter is clutter, and I love the part about my mind, but because my mind does get clear, right? It does get clearer when I start to just get rid of some stuff. Don't call me no more. Don't talk to me no more. Just go by. Okay, stop it. It's like that. What you think about that, Rosemary? I know you're a coach, and that's part of to me a coachable moment to say, don't, don't divorce your phone, divorce it. Okay, put it down. Don't deal with it no more. Okay, get rid of some of them contacts. You don't know who they are anyway. Things of
Right.
that nature. Rosemary, what do
Yeah.
you tell people as far as just getting rid of the clutter in your mind?
Yeah. Selena did a session during our workshop we did together um, last year, and we did some co-working where she shows us how to take just one area and how to just stick with that one area and declutter. And then as you do that, for me, it motivated me once I saw that one shelf looking all nice
Clean,
and I looked above it. Then I wanted to do that one. Then I wanted to do the next one. Then I showed Selena and she pat me on the back and that was a reward. And then I learned how to reward myself too. But the thing about it does make you feel good, like you said a little earlier,
right,
makes us
right,
feel
right.
good when we start decluttering. And then here's the thing that I learned. There are principles. And once you learn a principle, you can apply it to anything. So I've decluttered
Right.
drawers in my kitchen. I've decluttered my closet. I've decluttered, look, even, excuse me, one of the things Selena showed us how to do in one of our workshops, well, we talked about it, is decluttering your email, getting rid of all that email. That's clutter. And like you said, your contacts, I got people in my contacts, I don't even know who they are. So just the other day, I said, you know what? Next time I'm sitting down, not doing anything, and have a little time, I'm just going to go through here. And everybody I don't know and I haven't talked to, just go on and get rid of it. Old pictures in my phone. I just had to buy 2 more gigabytes of iCloud space storage because, well, for one thing, I got the Gigi baby, my great grandbaby. And once I take all those videos and pictures, I'm going to need Selena to help me with that. No, seriously. I know what to do now. But it's like every picture I look at, even if it's one just like the one before, it's like, but this is my grandbaby. I can't, that's like throwing her away. This is her picture. So I got to deal
That's
with
right.
this part.
Yes, yes.
That's an emotional attachment to
That's
that, but you still have your grandbaby and you got this one picture of that pose. Go through and just get rid of the other 3 or 4 and things like that. And so that's what I've been doing. But it really is, as they say, mind over matter. And we really
Mhm.
do have to look at how clutter is affecting us, our relationships,
I
all
mean,
of that. So, yeah,
it does. It really
yeah.
does. It really does. When you said you hit me real hard with on emails, because I got so many emails. I got 95%, and then I go in there and I do about five to ten of them just to give me a little bit more juice, right? And then after instead of sitting down and go, because my in my mind I'm thinking if I click some, it's gonna be gone forever.
Yep.
So we all got our own
Own.
clutter issues. We really do.
We do.
Your clutter might not look like my clutter, but
Yes.
you named a whole bunch of them. I mean, especially when you start talking about that doggone email. Jesus Christ, that don't make sense. The photos and all
Yep.
that. I mean, what
Yep.
happened to the time when we didn't have a phone and we didn't have no photos in here? You go to Walgreens and get your hard copy. Okay, that's what you did then, right? But now all of a sudden we want to hold everything, and this might be a problem with clutter people too,
Yes, it
But
is.
we all have clutter issues. Your clutter, like
Merlin,
I just said, don't look like mine.
you hit on something real
Yeah.
quick. Even the hard
Mhm.
copies of our photos. I've got pictures of all my nieces and nephews when they were newborn babies, all growing up. I got old photo albums. So you know what I did starting last year? I took them to the park and I told them everything that you all come look at your pictures and whatever you want, take it. Because whatever you don't take is I'm going to be discarding it. So they came and they
Oh,
all looked at pictures and they took one, maybe two of their favorites and they would tell me, Auntie Rosie, we want you to keep these because you always bring them. I say, but I won't be doing that anymore. So now,
go
I'm
through
going to
it
have to follow through and get rid of some of that stuff. But yeah, but
I
it's
see. I
emotional
see.
stuff. These are my grown nieces and nephews and pictures. It's like, but man, once I throw this away, I never have that memory again. So you have to do the detachment thing. And Selena is real good at that too.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good thing. But okay, so we're up to about 26 minutes, and my sons tell me, Mom, okay, because I love to talk, so I can keep going and going. But hey, we at the end of this, you ladies, I mean, I love it. I love it, okay? Because it's learning different things and new things, right? But Selena Long Reese, tell me what's your final words on this, okay?
So my final words, what I would say is, so a couple of things. One is, like you said, clutter exists in so many different forms, and your clutter may not look like my clutter. But the
Mhm.
first step it takes is definitely coming real with yourself and taking that mask off and really
That's right.
examining, I would say, those 5 or 7 core areas of your life: spiritually, financially, emotionally. You know what I mean? Your relationships. Examine those 5 or 7 core areas of your life and
Hmm.
be fully transparent with yourself and say, hey, you know what? What is my relationship with my family? What is my relationship with myself, right? What is my relationship with my digital, right? um Impression on social media, on my email. What's my, yes, ask yourself that question. And I would say then start with one area and start with the area that you feel would make the most impact in your life, because that in
Wow.
itself would give you motivation to continue going on. Because I always say, even if we start with the physical clutter, right? Don't, a lot of times people love to say, a lot of people in my profession love to say, clear the entire area. No, I say start with one corner, just with
Hmm.
that one corner, and commit. And what to do is put it in your calendar, just like it's you would put in your calendar a doctor's appointment. This is you
Hmm.
investing in your mental health, right? Your physical space. This is you investing in yourself. So carve that time out, put it in the calendar, and be consistent with it. And all I say is set a timer, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and just do it
That's right.
consistently over
I love
whatever,
that.
whether it's 2 days, 3 days, 4 days. Do it consistently for
Right.
10, 15 minutes, and that's it.
I love it. I'm gonna say the three C's: carve, calendar, and consistency. I like
Yes.
that. Okay. All right, Miss Rosemary, you up now. Tell us you're the last leg home. So tell us what's your final words.
Well, I'm just going to say again, take off the mask, be brutally honest with yourself, first of all, because if you can't be honest with yourself, you're not going to be able to be honest with God. I know with the 12 steps, they say be honest with God and then yourself, but in order for you to be honest with God, you got to be honest with yourself. When you can be honest with yourself, then be honest with God and just tell him where you are and ask him to help you and just start peeling those masks off, just identifying all of the underlying issues. Like Selena, excuse me, mentioned earlier, that clutter is a manifestation of something. And you can get rid of everything you want to, clear your house out. But if you don't get to the root cause of why you allowed it to get like that in the first place, you'll be calling me and Selena back
Yeah.
in a few months or a year down the road, and
Or
we got to do
year.
the work all
Yeah.
over again. Start with taking off the mask, doing the spiritual, emotional, mental, then the physical, and all of that. But yeah, we've got to get to the root cause of why do I feel the need? You know, even the comfort food, all that eating and all that. That's how our finances get so cluttered. We get so weighed down with all of that. Bad relationships, you know, people pleasing, wanting people to like you, buying stuff, trying to keep up with the Joneses, and they're trying to keep up with the Jacksons, and you don't even know that, you know. So, you know, we're doing all this stuff. So we just have to stop it. Just stop. Take off the mask.
Just stop.
Be honest. Yeah. Yeah.
I love
Like
that.
Nike
Well,
said,
hey,
just
lady.
do it. Just stop it.
That's right, right. Just stop. Just say no to whatever it is, okay? But Selena, Rosemary, this has been a delightful treat for me, and I hope it was a delightful treat for you because we all, like I said, we all have our own clutter, and this can give us a really a friendly reminder that we're not out here by ourselves, you know, with our own clutter and all that and stuff, and trying to do the right thing. But I tell you what, until next time, all the people that are out there, please go and subscribe. You know, I got some really dynamic other people coming on. My guests are all super. Okay, so please like and subscribe. And guess what? You have been listening to Selena Long Reese, Rosemary Jackson Moore, and we have been talking about, I got it, the journey from clutter to clarity. Until next time, peace out.